Well, this year, to mark 100 years since the end of the First World War, a people's procession is taking place with 10,000 members of the public chosen by ballot parading past the cenotaph. And leading the parade is the band of Christ's Hospital School from Horsham. They're on their way up to London now, so let's have a quick word with bandmaster Terry Whittingham. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, Emily.
How does it feel then to be leading the procession later today?
Well, we consider it an honour and a privilege to take part in this historic event. I think it also gives us the chance to remember all those who lost their lives in the Great War, especially those old blues of CH who made the ultimate sacrifice.
A very poignant day for you and the children. It's been a very busy weekend for you as well, hasn't it?
Yes, we did the Lord Mayor's show yesterday, which was a great event. The weather was kind to us, which we were absolutely delighted about. So we left Christ Hospital at 6:30 yesterday morning, and the children were all up again early this morning. We were on the road just after 7:30.
What's the mood like on the coach this morning?
There's some people having a chat and a lot of people asleep.
Gearing up for their big moment a little bit later. And you mentioned that this is going to be a really moving time for the peoples involved. A very special time, but also the seriousness of the occasion to take part in this today. Of course, you have got your own connections with the military. Who will you be remembering today, Terry?
Well, I'll be remembering my own granddad Ernest Whittingham, who was a member of the King's Rifle Corps. I think he joined up in 1915. He was actually invalided out in 1917 with chronic pneumonia and bronchitis. So yes, he actually survived the war, which we were obviously very pleased about. But as I say, he was there with the King's Royal Rifle Corps.
Terry, thank you so much for joining us. We'll let you get on your way this morning, but we will catch up with you later this morning with Joe Talbot around 10:20 this morning. Thank you for now, and a safe journey up to the capital this morning.
Thanks very much, Emily. Bye-bye.
This is BBC Sussex.
BBC Sussex. Well, just afternoon today, 10,000 members of the public will take part in the People's Procession past the Cenotaph in central London. Many from our local area in Sussex and Surrey will be there, all with personal reasons and poignant stories of those who will be marching in remembrance of. Leading the procession, young people from the band at Christ Hospital School near Horsham, led by bandmaster Terry Whittingham, who joins me from central London right now here on the programme. Good morning to you, Terry. Thank you so much for joining us today. Tell us exactly where you are and what you can see.
We're actually in a place called Waterloo Place, which is just off the Mall. We're just waiting, we're just warming up the instruments. The children have just had a nice cup of tea or a cup of coffee. And the pipes, you may be able to hear, are actually warming up as well because there's a pipe band here. And we're all set to go in about half an hour's time.
And you were a bandmaster of the Grenadier Guards, and so therefore have taken part in many big remembrance services, I'm sure. Arguably none as big maybe as the marking 100 years since the end of the First World War. What does it mean for you to bring the young musicians up there today?
Well, I think it gives them a sense of the momentous events that took place in 1918. And I think it also gives them the idea that they need to remember those people who sacrificed their lives for our freedoms today.
And just before we cross, we're going to chat to Molly, who's one of the pupils you got with you. I understand that your own grandfather was in World War I, but was invalided out the year before the end of the war. Is that right?
Absolutely, yes. My granddad Ernest Whittingham, he joined up in 1915. He's in the King's Royal Rifle Corps. And yes, he was very poorly in 1917 and was actually then invalided out, yes.
So you will be remembering him today, even though he survived the war?
Yeah.
All right. Terry, lovely to chat to you. You've got Molly with you. If you pass your phone over to her, I'll have a chat, and I hope all goes well. Just before you go, Terry, actually, it's not raining in central London, I hope, at the moment?
The weather at the moment is absolutely fine, and we're keeping our fingers crossed that it's going to stay like this for the whole duration of the parade.
Wonderful. All right. Good luck to you.
Here's Molly.
Thank you. We'll chat to Molly as well, who's one of the pupils from the Christ Hospital School near Horsham, being led by Bandmaster Terry, who we've just chatted to. Hello, Molly.
Hi.
Hi. Now, I said in my introduction, you won't have heard it when I was chatting to Terry, 10,000 people will be taking part in this People's Procession, but will people be able to recognise you because you're wearing special uniforms?
Probably. We quite often get recognition because of the uniforms. It sticks out a fair bit.
Describe it for me, if you could.
I'm not sure. Quite a lot of people know about the school or recognise it, so maybe.
Okay, well, I hope so. It would be nice. But, I mean, it's a great thing to be part of. But tell us about the uniforms. What makes them so distinctive?
So for the boys, they have breeches and a shirt, and then the girls have a shirt and a skirt with the long woolen robe type thing over the top, which we call a housey coat, and then obviously the traditional yellow socks as well.
And just before we let you go, tell us what today means to you, because obviously 100 years, I'm quite old, but 100 years ago is long before I was around or thought of, and even longer since before you were. So what does today mean to you?
Well, I think it's really important to celebrate the lives of those that were lost, and also just to remember what went on so that history isn't repeated. It's just such an honour to be part of such a large event.
All right. And instrument-wise, what do you play?
I play the French horn.
All right. Well, I hope all goes well for you and the weather holds. Great to have you with us, Molly. Thank you very much indeed, and heaven forbid, you're absolutely right, that anything like this should ever, ever be repeated again. Terry Whittingham and also Christ Hospital pupil Molly participating in today's People's Procession, which will go past the cenotaph. Roughly 10,000 members of the public and services will be participating in that, so it's going to be a truly great parade.
March has now begun, is on its way. 10,000 people, we're told, and they're led by a band which is just coming down towards the cenotaph now, and it's the hospital school band, I think, from, I'm not sure where they're from, but anyway, it's the first band, and this procession is going to be not of people that we'll be able to identify one by one or know where they come from or which school or regiment they belong to. Christ Hospital School, that. I recognise the uniforms, of course. Christ Hospital, who wear these Tudor uniforms. And the people who follow will be people who we'll try and talk to from time to time. We'll try and get contact with one or two who we've identified, but basically they're people who are simply here because they wanted to come, because they have family connections, relations who were involved. Many of them there carrying wreaths and carrying pictures. And waiting to join us with some of the people who are marching past is Tina Dahili. Let's join her.